Righty, so this is the next project. It's a divided room. I need to get rid of the light, and I might redo the framing for this mesh because that's horrible. But what we're going to do in this room is, so you can see I used to have a shelf over here, is we're going to add a new shelf. We're going to make like a heated cave, and then a shelf to bask on top. So we got another retic going in here. His name's Tiny, and really wanted to make him something nice and big. So what we got here is a PVC, I think it's called a PVC liner, and this is just to hold any water from getting through, or urination and things like that, so the carpet doesn't get messed up underneath here. And then we've glued it to the sides. We use Sikaflex, which is very, very strong. It almost turns into rubber. It's super solid. This corner was a fun piece to fit, so we've Sikaflexed all of this here. The Sikaflex is even tougher than the material, it feels like. So yeah, we can have damp soil in here, nice humid environment, and making a little hot box over here. We're going to close it all the way down to the ground, so that he can get his nice basking spot. He'll fit in there easy peasy. And then if he wants, he can climb on the shelf. So that's his heated area. He's going to get 2 different temperatures there. And then the rest of it goes a bit wider. We might put a little pool in at some stage, otherwise we're just going to do a nice big water bowl. But if I can go through the wall, I can actually do like a heated pool thing with the rock or whatever. But for now, we just need to get space for him. So there's quite a lot of space in here. He might even climb up onto this windowsill. But yeah, he's got nice natural daylight and everything coming in here. Cool. So first things first, we're going to get some brackets. We're going to fit brackets on here and make it nice and strong to hold his shelf. I would like to do this whole room like a cave, but man, I just do not have the time. So it's something I could add in stages, piece by piece, which wouldn't harm the snake either. I'd make all the pieces separately and then just come and mount them onto the wall, and then fill the gaps and make it look to blend. But yeah, maybe one day when I'm retired and I've got some more time on my hands. Alrighty, so the shelf is in. Yeah, it's just a wooden shelf, and we've waterproofed it again. So this is all going to have substrate and husk and dirt till it's level. It was a mission to get in here. I measured the space, and I made for about 5 millimeters gap on each side, so it's sliding nicely. But the wall has got a whole lot of nice bumps and everything on it, so it made it a lot of fun. Eventually had to use a jack just to get it pinned in the right area. Got nice stainless steel brackets. Those bolts can hold 250 kilos with downward pressure, so they are plenty well rated. And plus I could stand on this thing without it falling anyway, so they're just an added safety, keep things where it should be. And then we're going to run the heating underneath here. So yeah, so here's the bolts that I'm using, just small ones, but plenty enough to do the job. And then what I want to do is that this is going to fit on the front here. Okay, so it's going to be like his hidey hole there, and it's going to all look like a cave. This was supposed to clip on there because the substrate is going to be quite deep, but the gap's a little further than I'd like it. And what I want to actually do is sort of build this section up so that it looks like rock as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this in place just where I need it. It'll clip on, and then I'll build across here, from there across to there, make it look like really nice rock, and that'll make a really nice hide. Easy temperature control. That's also the whole purpose with this method. You can see how thick this foam is. It's like really good insulation. So it's going to make a nice hot hide, and then he can also come out, regulate his body temperature here, climb on top, regulate his body temperature there. I think it's going to work really, really nicely. Okay, next step, let's see how it goes. So this is my latest piece that I've made. It's just like a bit of slate that's running through and a whole lot of dirt. We've even got some roots and things hanging. See little roots and stuff. So this is actually going to cover a smaller box area and a walk-in room for a python. And it's a nice insulated board, so the snake can just go zoops in there, get nice and warm when it wants to, climb on the shelf on top, and that way I'm not heating the whole room. So yeah, a little bit of electricity saving, and see how it works out. Well, I think it's gonna work out pretty lekker. So you can just a closer look at all the detail and everything. And yeah, it's back a solid. Right guys, so I've fitted the heating. Everything's all nice, safely pinned and knocked away. Had a little bit of issues, but all nice and safe. You could also go with an insulated tube and then everything, but yeah, been a bit pressed for time today. And this is more than safe enough. And then I've added this lip because of building off-site. I've made a couple mistakes I'll show you guys just now, so yeah, not so happy about. But it is what it is, it'll work. And then I've put 10 bags of potting soil here. So this is 100% organic potting soil. It's not cooked in an oven or jigged or F10'd or anything like that. It is just raw, it's really bioactive, good to go. Never ever had an issue. We don't have a problem with mites, snake mites here in the Western Cape of South Africa. So we can't pick anything up from out in the wild really. So yeah, and the bioactivity looks after itself. So that's just the base layer. We're not going to go with like a water table and everything, but this can get wet and it's not going to rot through the floor. So again, the reason we've got the plastic lining is there's actually carpet and wood under here. If it was a solid concrete floor, I'd be doing something way better. But yeah, it is what it is. You're going to have a nice water bowl there. So let's get the rest of the substrate in, and then we will fit our cave front in, see how everything looks. So here we go. This is pretty much what it's going to look like. Just need a bit more substrate, which I'll bring. I can bring Tiny with his substrate and I can just fill this up. Now I did make this tray way too deep. I have no idea why, don't ask me. Normally we go 20 centimeter deep for bioactive, so I can literally do a bioactive in here. The heat that's coming from the base can create humidity and so on, but yeah, really didn't need to go this deep. The one I did with Goldie was nowhere near as deep, and that one is working perfectly. So I don't think too much heat's going to get up through here, but it's definitely going to be a very good insulator. So here is my big stuff up. This gap here, I was supposed to build this piece of foam out to here to cover this gap. So this can be removed on that piece of wood that you guys saw. But it's not the end of the world. I can just put a bit of substrate. You know, the substrate's going to be filled up to here, inside there. Pack a bit of moss over here maybe. It's going to look just fine. And if I need to take it off, I can. That substrate will fall away. I can just pack it in there again. So yeah, only reason to undo that, obviously, to get access to him. I think that's a pretty cool cave, eh? Yeah, so this came out pretty sick. Now, just imagine that this whole cage looked like this. On the side walls here, the roof, everything. I've still got to move this horrid light. You know, I could do the ceiling, even have shelves up the top here. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't have time for that. This is just a quick move, a nice upgrade for him. And we can get him all nice and fattened up again. Yeah. Cool, so we've got the power cable here, and this probe is an extension wire for the probe of the dimmerstat, which is controlling the 150 watt heat emitter in there. So also in cases of load shedding, the temperature is going to be very well maintained in there. Here in South Africa, they turn our power off all the time because they're useless idiots and they can't keep the power running in this country. So that's going to be a nice insulated safe space in winter, which is going to hold temperatures even better. So yeah, very, very cool. Now just to add Tiny. Alrighty, so this is the finished product. He's got a little shelf he can climb up on. Needs a little more substrate. And then he's sleeping in down there. He's in the blue at the moment, so, and he needs a lot of fattening up. He just looks like that because I think he's in the blue, but he's all good. So yeah, it's got like a whole nice walk-in room. You can put a nice big branch across here. Nice upgrade.